Welcome back to the FinOps Partners channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's absolutely critical for any business, working capital. What is it? Why does it matter? And how can you manage it effectively? Joining me today to answer these questions is Carl Wakeford, founder of FinOps Partners. Carl, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Working capital is one of those topics that doesn't always get the attention it deserves, but it's essential for keeping any business running smoothly.
So let's start with the basics. So for anyone who's new to the term, what exactly is working capital?
So in basic terms, working capital is the lifeblood of any business, but it's essentially the difference between your current assets like cash, accounts receivable and inventory, and your current liabilities such as accounts payable or short-term debt. In simple terms, it's the money a business has available to meet its day-to-day operations. Think of it as the fuel that keeps the engine running.
And why is working capital so important for businesses, especially SMEs and charities?
Great question. So working capital is critical because it directly affects your liquidity and ability to operate. For SMEs, it can determine whether you can pay suppliers on time, cover payroll, or seize new opportunities. For charities, it's just as vital. Without sufficient working capital, they might not be able to fund programs or respond to unexpected needs. So poor working capital management can lead to cash flow problems, which is one of the biggest reasons businesses fail.
What are some common mistakes businesses make when managing their working capital?
One big mistake is neglecting cash flow forecasts. Many businesses don't look ahead to see how their income and expenses will align over time. Another common issue is letting accounts receivable pile up, essentially not collecting payments from customers quickly enough. On the flip side, some businesses pay their suppliers too quickly, which can deplete their cash reserves unnecessarily. It's all about finding the right balance.
And how can businesses improve their working capital management?
There are a few key strategies. First, focus on shortening your cash conversion cycle. This is the time it takes to turn your inventory into sales and sales into cash. Secondly, implement better credit control processes. Follow up on overdue invoices promptly and consider offering incentives for early payments if this is a problem area for your business. Thirdly, negotiate better terms with suppliers. Extending payment terms where possible can help keep more cash in your business for longer. But you want to balance with supplier relationships here, especially long-standing ones. But if they trust your business, they'll be open to the conversation. And finally, having a clear cash flow forecast allows you to anticipate and prepare for any shortfalls. You need to be able to relate working capital to upcoming outflows.
That's really interesting. So can you share an example of how FinOps Partners has helped a client manage their working capital effectively?
Absolutely. So we worked with an SME that was struggling with cash flow because they didn't have one in place. They had an expensive ERP system, enterprise resource planning system, but didn't have some key features up and running at the time. The business was excellent at managing accounts receivable, collecting their cash from customers in a timely manner, but they were paying suppliers as soon as invoices came in. So we helped them by bringing to life the key levers working capital is based on and linking it to the wider business strategy. We trained their team on credit control and renegotiated supplier terms. Within only a few short months, they reduced their payment collecting time by 20% and extended supplier terms by an average of 15 days. The result was a much healthier cash flow and more flexibility to reinvest in growth.
That sounds like a really great success. So what should businesses be tracking to keep an eye on their working capital health?
Good question. So the main metrics to watch are your current ratio, which measures current assets against current liabilities, and your cash conversion cycle, which shows how quickly you're turning resources into cash. You should also monitor days sales outstanding, or DSO, which tracks how long it takes to collect payments, and days payables outstanding, DPO for short, which measures how long you're taking to pay suppliers. If you track these metrics regularly, businesses will have early warning signs in place of potential problems.
Great. So for businesses that feel like they're struggling with working capital, what's the next step?
The first step is always to get clarity. Review your cash flow, accounts receivable and accounts payable processes to see where the gaps are. If it feels overwhelming, reach out to an expert. At FinOps Partners, we work with businesses to optimize their working capital. We also help them streamline processes and create forecasts that help them plan for the future. So we're always up for a conversation with any business that's looking to improve their financial processes. You can always give us a call and reach out to us on our website.